Hey guys, how's it going?
Interrupt your podcast.
Oh my god.
John, I fucking hate you.
My name's Alex.
My name's Eric.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm John.
This is Immature Hour Podcast.
Yeah, the name's fucking Immature Hour. Don't get fucking mad at me because
Intro!
I'm living up to the
Stop
title of the goddamn
Hitting
podcast.
the goddamn table.
Says the
Sorry.
man that slammed the table 9 times in the last podcast.
Dude, not only that, but he also wouldn't stop fucking with his microphone. He kept on
I'm sorry.
like choking his chicken over there.
Choking that microphone chicken.
Sorry. Anyways,
Alex,
this is
micro chicken.
an exciting podcast. We have
Yes, please be more excited for me, Eric.
This podcast.
You're like this is
super
going to be
exciting.
exciting
Man,
podcast.
we're really glad to be here. And
Can everyone stop
awesome.
beating up my ass?
hey,
You know what?
Hey, at least I had the
What's
decency
up,
to put some lube on.
You know what? Let's give this a try. We have a super exciting podcast for you guys today. We are talking about
why are you picking apart your donut over there?
because I can
Just eat it.
the Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah.
Bye bye.
See you later,
We,
everybody.
We got a large nugget of information and announcements from the conference from what day was it? Thursday?
Thursday night,
Last Thursday.
which was January 12th.
Yes.
Would you say it's a chicken mac nugget?
Stop. Get
help.
Quit hitting
Chicken mac
the
nuggets.
goddamn
I'm
table.
sorry. I don't know why I keep doing
Put your
that.
fucking hands down.
Just tie
Hands
my
in your
hands.
pockets.
We're not
Sorry.
even being recorded. You
I
have
was-
nothing to fidget with.
I was it's like a Cajun. Like
Right?
if you handcuff a Cajun together, they can no longer talk.
or an
That's
Italian.
Also, I was going to say, that's an Italian thing as well.
John makes me sit on my hands. And then I'm silent.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I talk with my hands a lot. I fidget with shit too.
Anyways,
Alex talks with his shirt buttons a lot.
It's true. Dude, I guarantee you that if we had a female audience, it would have peaked at that point in the fucking video.
I mean,
They were like,
we have those two 50-year-olds watching the channel, so
at
Oh,
least.
yeah. We're on Gilf Watch now.
Yeah, the only unfortunate thing is like one of them is my mom.
Is one of them also
So
Eric's
we're
mom?
still on Gilf
Probably.
Watch right
probably.
now.
My mom watches.
My mom's
So the
blog
third
has been
one's your mom
updated.
then.
Yeah.
Oh, so your mom must be the one female listener that's over 65?
No!
Oh.
My mom's only 55.
Your mom's younger than my mom? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Damn.
This cannot be.
She was young.
Way to bring it.
My
like,
parents
screeching.
my parents
Yeah,
are old
apparently.
AF.
Fucking hate all of you right now.
No, you don't. All right. Anyway, we
I'm just gonna
have
sip my coffee menacingly.
yeah.
I hate awkward silences. The worst.
All right.
Fucking
So
say something.
we're gonna be talking about our. We're gonna be talking about the Switch announcement and all that, since we haven't done enough Switch podcasts already.
Well,
Yeah,
this was
what
different.
what
This one we have
exactly
like
is the Nintendo
we have
Switch?
legitimate announcements this time. So I mean,
Yeah, instead of fucking speculation, instead of fucking like Matt patting it up over here with game theories.
we have legitimate nailage. So let's right out of the gate. We got some straight up info that it was John. What?
Just
What?
spit it out, man.
I'm trying. Jesus.
Guys, look, you're gonna shit a nugget when you listen to this podcast.
A Mac
Just tell
nugget.
the people what they want.
Fucking.
Tell them. Talk about it now.
We have a March 3rd release, which is
John,
cool.
you are like such a douche.
like a month and a half away. You have anything you want to add, John?
Oh man, so much. I have so much info
All right,
that I
well,
want to
just
share.
do fucking tell.
I have all the words. All the words.
The best words.
I have my information. It's gonna be great.
We got a March 3rd release, $299.99 for us United States folk.
I'm
we
gonna
also
be
got-
honest. We're the only country that matters,
Damn.
except after January 20th. Then we're the least country that matters.
Yeah, agreed.
What's up? Here?
Damn again.
Damn.
What's up here? Oh yeah, never mind. Got it.
I was just gonna stare at Eric.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too. I was like,
I'm getting like serious hate today for some reason. I'm sorry. I won't slam the table anymore.
Please
thank
don't.
you.
Um,
All right. So anyway, fucking. So the Switch announcement was finally pushed live on January 12th, and they gave us all the information we've finally been waiting for a long time. We finally got a release date, which it was rumored that the release date was supposed to be March, I think 17th or the 21st. It was one of those two that they had that leak that was supposed to be that. And then whenever they came live and they said March 3rd, That was, to me, that was like a big surprise.
Yeah.
That it's literally, like Eric said,
That's like
only
a
a
month
month
and a
and a half away.
That's super close.
I think that's probably one of the closest, keeping it classy, John. Probably one of the closest releases to an announcement that I've seen. I mean, technically speaking, if you count the original announcement back in like September, October.
No. This comes nowhere near. You remember when the Sega Saturn dropped?
No.
I'm 25. I don't.
I'm 24.
Fuck both of you.
Get
Well,
younger.
At E3,
I would say, what, are you going to talk about your AARP membership next?
I mean, maybe.
Soon for both of us.
Dude, I fucking wish. Are you kidding me? Do you know how expensive insurance is?
I already got my AARP letter in.
It's really back in.
When I turned 30.
No, they came out at E3 and said, "This is the Sega Saturn. By the way, you could buy it today."
That's pretty awesome.
Oh,
Like,
that's
it was
pretty
like,
dope.
Boom!
That-
And then
that's
it, I mean,
cool.
it tanked, but
And that's why. I mean,
well,
those
it also came out. It was like $600.
Yeah, it was.
which was
and back then, that's like $1,000 worth of today's money.
Yeah.
Like back when the dollar actually meant something, $600.
Dude, you joke, but the fucking euro and the pound are dropping in. Like, I think the euro is
Canada's 1-to-1 right now with us.
even
which
the
is terrifying.
euro is only like 1.1, 1.2 to R1 now. It used to be like 2 to 1.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's money is fucking becoming worthless now.
Yay!
It's great.
Now we're not the only pieces of shit.
But
All right, so
So sorry.
so
Nintendo Switch.
since we were talking about money, the price was also announced, which there was a bunch of rumors for that. Like, I think one of the rumors was that the price was supposed to be like $3.99, and that was like 3.99 euros, which is I mean, we just talked about that the exchange rate's kind of shitty again, but like 3.99 euros would be like 4.50 for us, I think.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
But it ended up being $2.99, which is not that bad, especially since like an actual 3DS, a brand new one, is $200.
I think that
Yeah.
was the amount that we were all kind of predicting too, that it would come out to be. It'd be
Yeah,
about 300.
I'd heard the rumor that it was going to be $250, and that was the one that I was expecting. But I mean, $2.99 is only like it's only $50 more. It's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind spending 300, especially on a device that lets me have it on the go and at home. That's just you're paying for
It's like two systems
convenience,
in one.
you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I think 300 was a solid price. And then included with the Switch, you get the two Joy-Con remotes. That's what we're going with. That's the
Man.
name,
That's what they're
Joy-Con.
called,
Yeah.
Joy-Con.
Man, I totally can't wait to share the joy with you.
Can't wait. But
Where's your crickets when?
Oh, we're actually they've all been fed to the geckos. They don't exist anymore.
It's dark.
Well, I mean, you know what's depressing? Like, if we're gonna go off on that topic, like
Let's please do. Eric
we
loves
buy
it when we go off
crickets,
on
so we basically have to take care of the crickets. We have to feed them and make sure that they stay healthy, so we can feed them to our geckos. So we have to keep pets to feed our pets.
It's the circle of life, man. This is exactly what Mufasa was telling Simba about.
Joy-Cons. Joy-Cons
Please
came out.
slam more things down.
Stop.
So let's talk about the Joy-Con controllers.
Yeah,
Which
so
is a
they
weird
have-
name for a
Right, Eric?
controller.
Yeah, they have a lot of like. There's a lot of tech in them. They had that demonstration with the ice cubes in them.
Oh yeah.
So apparently the
HD
the
rumble,
controllers are
yes.
able to you're able to feel a very sensitive dimension. you're able to sense things at a higher level than most controllers as far as like feedback goes, which I thought was really
Three-dimensional
interesting.
vibration.
It's a really great feature for Bartender Simulator.
Yeah. Also,
Yes.
Starbucks Simulator, which I
Yeah.
imagine coming soon to stores near you.
All the-
Sorry, we said 3 cubes of ice. This is clearly 2.
I wish the podcast had a camera.
I know, right?
Shake weight simulator.
I was doing my best
Also-
shaker.
Also known as Hand Job Simulator.
Yeah, you get the Joy-Con, you get the dock, which we found out the dock is just a way for the system to play on the TV. All the hardware is actually in the screen portion.
That's not completely true.
No.
No.
My bad.
Because whenever you dock it, as soon as you dock it, it transfers the rate, the resolution, everything to 1080 at 60 frames per second. So if all the hardware was held in the screen, I feel like that it would have been easier for them to make the screen 1080, but they made the screen 720. Most likely
They
due
might
to.
have done that for battery purposes.
I mean, that's a good chance. That's a good chance too. But supposedly, I mean, for them to be able to upscale that significantly whenever it's docked, I feel like that there has to be at least somewhat of a hardware boost inside the dock itself. Especially since the dock is like, just to buy a dock alone is like $100, which is something you can do. You can actually buy an additional dock. So like, let's say if you have multiple TVs in your house, have multiple docks, so whenever you go into another room, you can dock it to a different TV if you want without having to move it.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Speaking of battery life, though, they mentioned anywhere from 2.5 to 6 hours, depending on which game you're playing.
Yeah, and they said Breath of the Wild, you can expect about 3 hours of gameplay on a full charge.
That's a huge.
That's a
It's a
large
big-ass game.
Variation.
Well,
yeah.
they said it's going to depend on the on the resource allocation that's required for the actual game. So, like for instance, if you're playing
Okay.
Super Bomberman, that's not going to be nearly as a resource heavy game as Breath of the Wild.
Right.
So with Super Bomberman, or if you're also playing multiplayer games because multiplayer games just typically are more processor intensive because it has to
Okay.
render the game multiple times on a single screen. That's going to run the battery down faster.
Right.
Also, if you're going to have the Wi-Fi on, then it's going to run down faster. So there's going to be things like that probably.
So we got
It's just a battery life theory.
yeah. So we got battery life info. We got the date. We got the specs on it. We also got. Thank you. We also got some game announcements.
Got a whole lot of game
Whole
announcements. Well,
lot.
weird enough, kind of yes and kind of no. So on the actual, they had two events that Nintendo held, and that was the actual press release, which was
Awkward.
Yeah, that was
at
kinda
best
awkward.
Well, some of it was really cool, but dude, that one,
It was very
that No More
Japanese.
Heroes guy,
All of that was crazy awkward.
the No More Heroes translator.
Yeah,
Force.
he broke down. Poor guy.
Yeah.
And-
I don't know
Oh,
what was
yeah.
And I
going on.
that
imagine
was
like it was
awkward.
something where like I believe they they pre-write what they're supposed to say and they give it to the translator, but I guess like that guy was just winging it or something.
I don't know. Like I said, it sounded to me like it's just a bunch of dudes on the couch getting baked.
Yeah,
What do you
dude,
think they're saying? I don't know.
dude, like it to me, it seemed like he like literally as he was translating, it's like time to translate, and then he has an aneurysm. He just started to
Yeah.
stroke out.
Like at the beginning of each one, like they have to interrupt him like taking a bong hit because there was always like a 10-second like gap. You're like, what? Where are we?
It was awkward at times, but the content itself was pretty interesting.
See, I thought it was lackluster. I wasn't
Yeah,
super
Interesting,
impressed.
not good, but interesting.
Like the boxing thing, I thought looked
Arms.
stupid.
Actually, I would like to be honest. So what I was gonna say, I don't know if any of y'all watch the Treehouse event.
No, and that's what I was going to ask
No.
if anybody
I
else
did.
had watched.
Whenever Jody and I, so Friday morning, because the pre-orders went live Friday morning, Jody and I actually went to GameStop about like 8:30, and we hung out outside. I actually brought my laptop with me. I connected to the McAllister's Wi-Fi, and I was streaming the Treehouse event while we were there.
Okay.
And so basically, the Treehouse event, it was more of like a hands-on with some of the major IP games they announced at the actual event, and they kind of announced a few extra games, like they announced Super Bomberman.
Yeah.
They announced another game. I think it was called Snipper Clips, is what it was called. They announced a few other
I
games.
saw like Mario Kart.
Yeah, the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Edition. Then,
Which really, like, how long ago did Mario Kart 8 come out? They
A
couldn't
couple years ago.
come up with a new one for the launch
Well,
title of their new system.
they did add extra content. They have new,
yeah, but
they have
still,
new
it's
characters and
just
stuff to
it's
it.
just a remake.
I mean, in essence, but I mean,
But in
if in
Skyrim
essence,
too.
like, I would say, in essence, isn't
Yeah, but
any
I'm not,
Mario
like,
Kart a
jazzed
remake?
about Skyrim either.
What'd you say, Alex?
I would say, in essence, isn't any Mario Kart a remake? I mean, between Mario Kart editions, all you get is like a few
Yeah,
extra
but-
levels and a few extra characters.
I think like the last original Mario Kart was Double Dash.
Yes,
And that's
I would
why
agree
it's
with
still
that.
my favorite.
Dude, Double Dash was fantastic.
I mean, look, let's be honest. Every first-party Nintendo IP is just a remake for the last 30-something years.
I mean,
Breath of the Wild's totally different, dude.
No, man, yeah, bro.
I would say
No way, bro.
Hey, bro, let's go.
it actually is, but
Yeah.
God damn
It's
it.
like they said, "Oh my god, it's so innovative." So it's an open world fantasy RPG, and you just announced that you're gonna drop Skyrim on the side of Breath of the Wild. Yes, super fucking innovative. Like,
Yeah,
wow,
but at
Nintendo,
the same
way to
time,
stretch.
looking at Breath of the Wild, it looks way better than Skyrim.
Like, I get, like, I think it's an amazing looking Legend of Zelda title, but don't ask me to be like, oh my god, it's so innovative.
I don't think
fucking not.
No,
I don't think
think-
anybody said innovative though.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's thinking innovative. I think they're improving on the standard formula for the Zelda series tremendously.
I would say
The
way
weapons degrade and break, and immediately that's a fuck you for me.
I would say, see, that doesn't bother me because I mean that's more of a realistic thing, especially since like I play a shit ton of survival games and that happens anyway.
Like, I mean, I think that's shit in any game.
Like-
Like, I play Dying Light. If I beat somebody with like a metal pipe, it's not gonna break after 3 swings.
Well,
I think that's horse shit in any game.
Well, if you beat the shit out of someone with a stick,
Yeah, well, I
Well,
think
yeah.
it's conditional. Like, if I hit you with a stick, yeah, it's gonna break. But, like, be realistic about it. If
I
I
would
come
say-
at you with a galvanized steel pipe, guess what? That's gonna be way harder than your head. You know?
yeah.
And you'll be able to use it multiple times.
Are,
Like,
are
it's
you
not just
are you
gonna-
talking about Dying Light specifically right now? Or are you talking
I'm
about?
talking about any game with a degrading
Degrading.
weapon system, whether it's Dying Light, Fallout. Well, thankfully the new Fallouts don't do it.
Obviously, yeah. See, like the grading systems, like I might be in the low lying, but I don't really care about it. It doesn't bother me.
Depends on how it's done.
Yeah.
If I'm constantly having to repair my shit, that bothers me. Like, what is it, Monster Hunter? Constantly having to repair your
Oh,
gear.
yeah.
I didn't like that. Dark Souls is perfectly fine. It's like it's done in a way that like it's gradual over time, and it's not like, oh my
Like,
god.
I'm glad
I
they
constantly
took.
have to
Didn't they
repair.
take that shit out of Diablo 2 as well?
You mean Diablo 3?
I mean
Diablo 3,
Diablo
yeah.
TOO. Like, didn't they take it out of Diablo 2?
Oh no, they you do
As
have
well.
your armor can break, but you can repair it super
But it's
easy.
I think it only degrades whenever you die, right?
Oh well, whenever you take damage, it does degrade, but whenever you die, it degrades faster.
Oh, okay.
So the more you die, the faster it degrades. But also, it's like at level 70, and with my Paragon level, it cost me like maybe 10,000 gold to repair everything to max from all being completely destroyed. Which at that level, 10,000 gold, I pick up from a fucking like tree stump.
Yeah.
So it's like it doesn't really. It's
But
nothing.
like, to bring it back in, like, to me, and like I said, I may be the outlier here, but like I look at Breath of the Wild and I'm like, wow, that's pretty, but it's not innovative.
Well, I
Like,
think
it's not really stepping out. It's like,
I don't think it's meant to be innovative. It's if you look at it from a Legend of Zelda standpoint of view, this is the first Legend of Zelda where they, like Eric said, they broke from the mold and included all these features, and it's new for a Legend of Zelda game. And for me, that's what I'm excited about.
This Zelda game is basically when they made the jump from the Super Nintendo Zelda to Ocarina of Time. Like, this is like I want to say the equivalent, but it's similar.
that's not a solid.
Well, no, my point is
what I mean
that,
is like Link to the Past is my favorite. So like,
Right.
going
What
from
I'm
Link
saying
to the
is,
Past
like,
to
yeah,
the
but you're
game
way
is
more of a
evolving
retro
again.
gamer than any of us, though.
that's fair.
the game series is evolving again.
Yeah, and to me, like that's one of my exciting things because like I love Skyrim, I love Fallout, like those games have these open world features, and I love Zelda, and Zelda does have in essence an open world feature. Like Wind Waker was one of my favorites, Majora's Mask was great, Ocarina of Time was great.
Yeah.
These were great, but I feel like that they're finally bringing in specific features of games that I've loved in the past to one of my favorite series ever, and that's what excites me.
Yeah, and I get that. I guess my hang up is like it's like I feel like Nintendo is just like playing catch up at their own pace, and everybody gives them a pass because they're Nintendo. Like, oh wow, we're making an open world game. That's cool. Have you played Grand Theft Auto 3? Because open world games have been around since that.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, because I mean, really.
I mean, there have been open world, quote unquote, open world games since the NES, but
I would say exactly because I mean, even Zelda has been open world since Ocarina of Time.
okay, yeah, that's a fair argument. I don't know. I guess I just feel like everybody's giving Nintendo a pass because this shit's not really like
It's not a pass. it's
mind
just-
blowing.
Zelda's like
It's a staple.
it's a staple franchise, and
Well, it's like when Grandpa tells the same story over and over and over, and you
Exactly.
listen to it because you love Grandpa, but you've already heard it. And you're like, well, Grandpa does have some interesting stories, but God, I can recite this one myself. But it's Grandpa.
Perfect analogy.
And see, for me, it's actually really interesting because
love it.
I'm probably the least Nintendo fanboy out of a lot of my fan groups. Like, I've kind of like haven't really given a shit about Nintendo over the past, like, to be honest, since the GameCube.
I was going to say, I haven't owned a Nintendo console since the GameCube.
I've owned everyone since, except it's more of like I'm gonna pick it up because there's gonna be some games that are gonna come out on it, like Pokemon games for the DS, things
I'll
like
take
that.
that back. I have a 3DS.
Yeah,
See, I think the GameCube's the only one that I didn't own. Like, I got
dude, the GameCube was the best one.
GameCube was awesome.
GameCube's
fantastic.
pretty
I had I got the original Game Boy, the big gray brick when I was 6. Then I had a Game Boy Color. We had a 64. Oh, was it too far?
No!
That's why I didn't move it earlier. I had a 64. I had a Wii. I had a Wii U that I begrudgingly traded in.
good. Same.
I
regretted it after I
Yeah.
checked my Wii. I was like, I
Oh,
missed
yeah.
that thing.
I like the Wii U, but like it was just because Nintendo completely flopped on the Wii U. But also, I think one of the interesting things about Nintendo is that
Why did I tell you that?
Nintendo, their market share is primarily in Japan. Mm-hmm. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how much we rag on Nintendo here in America, the majority of their market share is in Japan. They fucking sell like crazy in Japan.
See, Nintendo's great. Like, they truly are innovative. Their games may not be, but their systems, holy
Yeah.
crap. Like,
They're always doing something different. which
yeah, like, I
appreciate.
mean, the 64 was just like,
It was.
Can
it
you
was,
can you say that all their ideas work? Absolutely not. But can you say that they don't try?
I would say
No,
that they're one of
they-
they're one of the few companies that aren't afraid to actually make the mistakes.
like when
Well,
the Wii
that's-
came out and they're like, it's motion controlled. Like, here's your
Yeah.
control. You know, that was amazing. And now with the Switch, it's like, you can take it anywhere.
Yes, John.
No, I was just saying, I'm not sitting here trying to bash Nintendo.
No, we know.
What the thing that I want Nintendo to do is to stop resting on its laurels and
Yeah.
come up with, like, Splatoon. Splatoon is like their first new IP in how long?
It's been a hot minute.
And I hear it's fantastic. I personally haven't played it, so I can't judge it, but it looks like it's fun as shit. And everybody that I've known that has played it said it's amazing. What I want is for them to not, like, come up with something new besides Donkey Kong, Zelda, Mario, and Pokemon. Like,
You just want new IPs.
yeah, I want new IPs. Like, there was and this is, I guess this bothers me so much because, you know, Super Nintendo is my favorite console of all time. And Super Nintendo had so many good fucking games. And, like, just one-off games, series, trilogies. Like,
Let me
there
ask
were-
you this though: how many were first-party Nintendo games? Most of the Super Nintendo games were third-party titles.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean,
even if it's not, and I know that they're pushing for more third-party support on the Switch, which makes me happy. But, like, I mean, look at the library for the SNES versus the library for the Wii. The Wii is filled with so many
WiiWare.
dog shit games.
Yeah.
Like, that are just different combinations of waggle the controller
The Wii, you said?
at the...
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you said Wii or Wii U.
Yeah, the original Wii. Because I'm very disappointed with the Wii U. As much as I loved it, I feel like they didn't utilize what they had.
yeah.
Yeah.
They could have done so much. The Wii U could have essentially been the Switch if they had made that gamepad portable. And that's what everybody
I feel like
expected.
that was just them testing the waters with
I would agree with that.
Possibly, yeah.
Because I feel like the Wii
It's
U
a
was
Switch prototype.
Yeah, basically, I would say that the Wii U is more of like a test market stepping stone between the 3DS and the Switch.
And see, it makes me wonder too if maybe it wasn't necessarily like a prototype. If it was more like they were listening to their audience. Because when the Wii U came out, it was great. It was innovative again. You know, you have this little screen. Oh my god. But everybody was like, "Well, can I take it in the car with me? Can I leave?" And
think it
then
was
we
a
were like,
case of, like,
"No."
this is our new console, and people were like, and they're like, I mean, not this. This isn't our new console. We're coming up with something way better. They're like, fuck, we need to come up with a new console.
Yeah. See, I really think because it's similar to the Wii U with the small screen, so that really makes me think that they were just listening to their audience and giving them what they wanted.
I will say I'm very glad that Nintendo finally stepped away from that fucking naming convention they decided to do. Wii and then Wii U. You know how
Yeah.
many? I know you can attest. You can
Oh,
probably
yeah.
test, and you can attest. I point at every single person in this room, basically. We've all worked at a game store at one point in time, and sometimes it's almost impossible to be able to help a customer differentiate or figure out the differentiation between Wii games and Wii U games,
Wii and Wii U,
and then explain to them what the difference
Yeah,
is.
if I had $1 for every time somebody asks what a Wii U is, they're
Exactly.
like, is that another console? Is that like an attachment?
Yeah.
Like they don't know.
Exactly, and I think that was a major one of the biggest flops on Nintendo's part, and one of the reasons that probably contributed to the Wii U doing so poorly was them just picking a terrible naming convention and then making it incredibly confusing.
Right.
Which I think is one of the things they need to move away with the DS, because they have the DS, the
DS
DSi,
Lite.
the DS Lite, the fucking 3DS,
The DSi XL, the
3DS.
3DS,
the new
XL.
3DS, the
That's the
3DS XL,
stupidest-
the 2DS. I mean,
Yeah,
the,
2D.
the new 3DS
Well,
without a charger.
I said
Yeah.
that shit
Stupidest thing ever.
the 2DS doesn't come with
when
a charger
Apple
either.
came out with the new iPad, which is essentially the iPad 3. I was like, well, okay, so what is this going to fucking be next year? The new iPad? The new iPad?
And to me, like another
Triple new.
I would say-
iPad Nuevo? You know? Like,
the fucking slightly newish iPad,
yeah.
which is like the retarded grandpa of the iPad, and then you have then if you look at the fucking
Like used.
the Mac OS, it's been iOS 10. Or not iOS, it's been OS X,
OS X.
for a long time, and they just give it a different name of either an animal, a mountain, or a fucking like public
A
attraction.
wave.
Like, cause what are we on? We're on El Capitan right now.
Yeah. I haven't used Mac OS since Snow Leopard? No. What was the
Dude,
one
Snow
that came
Leopard
after
was the
Snow
best.
Leopard?
Snow Leopard was fantastic.
Easily the best OS I've
I
ever
like
used.
Cheetah.
Dude, you're
Shut
close. There was a mountain lion.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Mountain Lion was the last
Fucking
one.
do that.
There
Apple
was Maverick, Mountain Lion, fucking Yosemite. There was Snow Leopard, fucking El Capitan.
El Capitan.
Yeah.
shit. Okay,
Don't
so
get me started on Apple. I feel like Apple is the Nintendo of the...
Of America.
can we
Yes.
talk about
No.
Mario Odyssey?
I'm
Yes,
actually
please.
really excited about it.
Holy shit!
I am too. Like, it caught so much crap, I feel like. And maybe not generally, but from John.
John, you have to
Why
be
am
for
I
the.
feel like I'm the turn the punch bowl.
But
and
I'm
you gotta be.
very
you gotta-
excited to
Somebody
play
has
it.
to be like the negative opinion.
I'll be that guy.
Okay, there's no such thing as negative opinion. It's called the.
There's too much negativity.
Have
in
a
this
counterpoint,
podcast.
motherfucker.
Thank you.
There you go.
I was gonna say devil's advocate, but thank you.
Too much.
Like
Turn the punch bowl. Exactly. That's what
Yeah.
he's saying.
it's perfectly okay
That's
to
what he
be
is.
to be the devil's advocate. I think that it's good to have, but I think that it's important to.
I am the anti-hype train.
Tell us about why you're
Convince
not
me.
excited about the Mario game.
I thought it looked great. I thought graphically it was beautiful. I thought in concept it just seemed fucking all over the place.
Well,
and maybe that'll
it was
change
also a
once-
trailer.
Yeah.
and I mean it was basically a trailer / tech demo, and I get that, and I'm
Yeah, I was curious as to why like it started in New Donk City. That's the actual name of it, New Donk City.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
like
and then
like big butts. Dog.
Yeah.
like Donk,
Okay.
like Donkey Kong.
Like it's like you just got a new girlfriend. Like, man, look, the new donk.
That's how.
yeah,
new-
New Donk.
the new
like,
girl
yeah.
at work.
So they start in New Donk City. And
How-
then like he
how did
ends up
that-
in the fucking jungle or the desert or something. And he's like all in these like weird locales.
But it's like a desert with glaciers.
Yeah, it was. He was in different worlds. It looked like.
It's Mario.
and
I would say,
I
have
get
you,
that.
I would say, have you played Paper Mario? You're a piece of paper and you can fold into a plane.
I have not. But I've
Paper
always wanted
Mario
to play
is
Paper
fantastic.
Mario.
If you're gonna play Paper Mario, like,
I hit the GameCube one. Is
yes,
the one.
Thousand Year Door is the best one. It's
Balls. We
fucking
had that
amazing.
one in the store the other day.
I have it. I'll let you
I've
borrow
only
it.
played the N64 one, which was very enjoyable.
Dude, Thousand Year Door was amazing. It's
Yeah.
like a 30 or 40 hour game.
Oh
Wow.
shit! Wow.
Yeah, here it's like a JRPG.
Dude, it's fantastic. It's one of the few turn-based games I actually really like.
But my point being, like, as a trailer, like it all felt so disconnected. Like there was no, like, Mario was the only through line, and I guess I was looking for like thematically I was looking for a through line.
I
See,
mean,
And
how
to me,
many
it
people
just
play
felt
Mario
like-
for the story?
well, I saw
Well,
it.
ever since Mario 64, fucking everyone.
Well, no, because I saw it like Mario 64, because you went into different rooms, you jumped into the different pictures, and then you were in a different world.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it may be similar. You might jump through different things to go to
He
different
had that.
worlds.
She got
Yeah,
the ship.
and
yeah,
maybe-
the ship.
The ship.
I was
might
about
be
to say,
that.
and maybe, but to me they didn't show that, and they didn't illustrate that.
Yeah, I will
Like-
say that, like, I feel like that the way that they did their edits, because I guess since you and I are actual video guys, the way that they decided to do their edits to make the trailer was a little bit confusing. It was kind of weird. but I feel like it was more or less to just have
I
a
just
quick.
wanted to show everything.
Exactly, it was more of
Yeah.
like a demo to show you the wide breadth of everything that is kind of experienced in the game.
And that's what I thought it was. I thought it was just a tech demo. I didn't realize until the name popped up that it was going to be an actual.
Yeah.
Like, this is our new Mario game.
I can see that. I can agree with that. I will say though, like I feel like for a Mario game, this is one of the first Mario games I'm actually interested in a long time.
It was the little stuff in the trailer that really like got me hooked in, like his hat, like throwing his hat and then using
Yeah.
it to jump across the buildings.
Yeah,
It was
you can tell that
awesome.
they took a lot of inspiration from Super Mario Sunshine for that game.
Also, can we talk about laziness again? Not the first time a Nintendo IP has had a living hat. Check out our playthrough of Mario Minish Cap. I mean, Legend of Zelda Minish Cap.
shameless plug.
Mario Minish Cap.
Mario Minish Cap. We made it up. But yeah, Legend of Zelda Minish Cap.
Yep.
I
That's
was
their, like-
the bird.
That's like their go-to. Like,
What's-
we need to make shit weird. I don't know, make the cap sentient.
What's interesting though is because they didn't show that off until the last 5 seconds, whenever it was outside the trailer.
Yeah.
And so and the way they did it is the hat's eyes mimicked Mario's eyes. So I'm thinking that might be their way of kind of hinting at that it's a multiplayer game, and the second player, kind of similar to the Wii U tablet, where the Wii U tablet was a support character.
Oh, yeah.
You can play as the hat for a support character.
Maybe he murdered Luigi and made him into a hat.
About damn time.
God.
No, fuck you. Team Luigi all the way.
Luigi died finally in the mansion and became a ghost hat.
Fuck you!
What else did we have? We had so we had Fire Emblem announcement.
Here, I actually have the
Seems
list.
like-
A new
So do
Zelda
I.
game.
You're on the Wikipedia too?
Yeah.
A lot of those
like-
are just,
Okay.
just trailers without
John?
any like.
Yes.
Binding of Isaac.
It's coming.
That's
Aftermath Plus, by the way.
like good and not good news to me because
They have
Binding of
disc-
Isaac's on every other fucking.
I still
I have
have yet
Binding
to
of
play
Isaac
it.
on my Vita, my PS4. I have it
Okay,
on Steam.
can I touch
It
on
just-
that for a second? Because that's something that I do want to discuss. I'm gonna be the unpopular opinion here for a second. I'm
Go
I'm
on.
I'm gonna bring this podcast down.
Ooh,
Do it.
I don't know if I can take all this negativity.
Okay.
Fucking negative.
Should I
negative
get it
I-
Kelly
out
over
first?
here.
I love Nintendo. I'm gonna start off by saying that. Like I said, I've had every system except the GameCube.
I love you, but
But I do feel like this is gonna be the final nail in Nintendo's coffin.
I will say that I was actually
you've sexually.
I will say that yes I've sexually molested Nintendo.
And that's why they're done.
This might be of poor choice, but I'm going to talk about another show on our show. I watch The Know a lot, which
Yeah.
is Rooster Teeth's kind of like informative show.
Kelly
And
loves the no.
The Know's great, and so I was watching it.
She irks me.
Oh, you don't like Ashley? Anyway,
Continue.
and it must be like an alpha female like competitive thing. Like you can smell her pheromones. And
No,
like,
no, it's because she's like dead behind the eyes when she
like I
she
said,
does it.
that's
about
because
this.
Her
Bernie gives her.
personality is like meh.
That's because Bernie gives her too good of the D.
Maybe
It's killed her on the inside.
That's
It's-
possible.
Like I said, I've seen her on the podcast and she's funny. When she's not being scripted, she's good to go.
And that's
But
probably
on
what
the
it
no,
is. Yeah.
Yeah, not really.
I'm just like I'm
But anyway.
bored.
Yeah. So I watched The Note, and that was one of the things that they talked about. Is like that this is probably going to be Nintendo's last chance to actually win over a large market share of American audience. They don't have to worry about Japanese audience because Nintendo outsells Xbox or any kind of Microsoft and Sony product like 4-1 in Japan. So
There-
that's not their issue. But America is probably one of the biggest markets they have available because by comparison, America compared to every other country in the world, it's the third largest country in the world, behind China and India. So obviously they have
Number one in terms of freedom.
debatable. We'll see
Right.
after January 20th.
New Zealand, just FYI.
Oh, dude, New Zealand's
number,
fucking awesome.
Number one.
But so they have if Japan wants to keep an American market share, which can technically be one of their biggest market shares, this is probably one of their last chances, and they have to come out big with good launch titles. Not necessarily good like day one launch titles. I think that Breath of the Wild is enough to sell Switch units out off the bat, as long as they
Absolutely.
can follow it up within the next following months after that with good enough titles to sell the console. And I'd probably give them 3 years if they can't come up
3
with.
years is way too much. I think they have to have a good Christmas.
Oh no, I will say I'm just
Or
saying
it's-
like 3 years is probably gonna be their deadline to have consistently put out enough good content.
See,
And
they're
to be honest,
banking on
I foresee like if they support the Switch as much as they support the 3DS, the Switch can hold them over for a long time.
see, here's why I think, and this is why I led into that from what you said about Binding of Isaac. And you said, well, I have it on this console, I have it on this console, I have it on this console. And that's why I think that this is going to be a challenge for Nintendo, because they're like, we're putting Skyrim. Everybody already has Skyrim.
And that's why I like everybody who's like, oh my god, Skyrim!
Right.
Like,
They're
But it's handheld.
Well, and that's the thing is like,
and that's cool.
Yeah,
But will it be enough to sell it? Because like, are you going to bring your handheld to work? Are you going to bring it to the park to play Skyrim?
like I can load Skyrim onto my PS4 and then play it on my Vita
On your
remotely.
Vita, yeah.
Like,
yeah, but
that's
that
not-
requires 2 devices. Then
So does
well, think about it.
the
If,
Switch.
But if you already have-
if you buy, comparatively, if I want to play devil's advocate to that, comparatively, if you want to do that, you have to buy a Vita, which is like $150 to $200, PlayStation 4, another $300 plus a copy of the game. That right there is like $600. As comparatively, buy a Switch for $300, buy the game for $50, half the price, and you could do the same thing.
Well,
But
I guess
I've
what
already
I'm-
had my PlayStation for 4 years.
exactly.
You
know?
you do have one, but the Vita fucking flopped.
It
You would
did.
literally be buying a Vita just to do that exact function, and that's
Now-
it.
Now the thing is, though, is the reason that I'm thinking that is because a lot of the third-party games that are coming out for it, if people already have an Xbox One and a PS4, they're not going to bother buying a Switch to play the games that they can already get on a system that they already have. And I know, talking about like the mobility of it, you can take it on the screen. But like I said, how many people are going to bring that with them to work? How many people are like,
will.
I'm going to go sit at the park and I'm going to bring my video game with me? Like,
I think it'll be the same amount of people that take their handhelds.
right.
Which
Which is it's a very small amount of people. Like, I have a 3DS and I don't bring it with me places. I think the last time I brought it anywhere was to GameStop Manager Conference just so that I could get
Street passes.
I didn't actually play it. I just wanted the Street Passes. Same thing when I went to E3. Like, Jamie and I brought our 3DSs because we wanted Street Passes. We didn't actually play it.
Yeah, I think the only time I bring my Vita somewhere that isn't at home is if I know I'm going to be, like if I have to go to like the mechanic,
Yeah.
and I know I'm going to be sitting there for 2 hours or, like a doctor's office or something. Like, that's the only time ironically, that's the only time I take my mobile gaming anywhere actually mobile.
I mean, people have phones. They can play on their
Yeah,
phones.
I can binge the SCP site.
So that's why I think, because the Wii U was such a flop, and I say that with air quotes because, like I said, I love the Wii U. I thought it was innovative and great. Like, I used to bring the gamepad with me into another room, and that was my selling point.
Oh, dude.
when I was
Fucking
selling them.
Netflix on the toilet.
Exactly, in the tub. I had a giant garden tub, and I would just set it up. I knew that I had about an hour before I had to charge it, so I'd put a movie on, or I'd put on a series.
I would watch Netflix while I was cooking or doing something like that in the kitchen.
And it was great
See what I
because
can do
whoever
that
was
with my iPad.
whoever was watching the TV could continue watching the TV. You could bring the gamepad and watch something else. So that was cool. And yes, you can do that with your iPad, but not everybody had tablets at the time that the Wii U came out.
To be honest, I still don't have a tablet. I that's something I don't have. And I used my my Wii U like almost strictly for that kind of stuff because I would hate to have to break out my laptop every time I wanted to watch Netflix or something like around the house. I'm not by my computer. So
The sad thing, that means that the Wii U has inadvertently become a multimedia machine when that was the Xbox One's focus, like from the
Yeah.
beginning.
well, I use my Xbox like a lot for multimedia now.
Sports,
TV,
TV,
TV.
Call of Duty.
I will say I can definitely see like the argument of all that. I do think that Nintendo's trying to play catch up. They're trying the only reason they're trying to add all these third-party major titles, games that have already come out, is to try to bring more market share to Nintendo because those are games that they've never had. So I think in itself that itself will help Nintendo out. Like now it is
But
in
is
a
it
way
too little too late?
Because they tried it with the Wii U.
I will say that.
They brought in a couple third-party games for the Wii U.
Yeah,
and
they
then,
brought in Bayonetta. They brought
Yeah.
in.
And then, like, every third-party developer was like, no, we're done. We're
Yeah.
done with Nintendo. And then they were like, oh, I guess we'll try again with the Switch. So I mean, I guess we'll see in the
Yeah.
coming couple years, but I really feel like this is it. And they even said that after the Wii U, they were like, you know, Nintendo needs to step it up, or they're going to go the way of Sega, and they're just going to become developers.
I almost think that would probably be really good. Like, can you imagine if Nintendo just said, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna do IPs and peripherals, and like they did like motion control stuff for the PS4 and the Xbox One, and allowed
then
all
finally-
of their IPs to be on other systems.
I'm having a hard time imagining a world like that.
To be honest, Nintendo's way too prideful to allow themselves to do that.
Oh, it'll never happen. But what I'm saying is like that. I feel like that could be like the next golden era for Nintendo.
Well, and also we're still speaking from the perspective of Americans and the American values we have towards those things. The Japanese, they love kitschy shit.
They do.
They love the idea of just like these weird things that you can do. They love the carnival attractions that Nintendo brings. Like, that's one of the things that sells it over there, is because that's what the Japanese... First of all, it's a Japanese company, and they're catering to their audience. It just happens to be that Americans have loved Nintendo for a very long time. But I will say that I don't think we should discredit Nintendo yet, just because I know plenty of people who will get the Switch just so they can play those games portable.
So,
Looking at Caitlin. Like for instance, like Caitlin's a huge Skyrim fan. I know for a fact that she will want to play Skyrim mobile, and that in itself will be enough to push at least some copies of the game. And so I think that while I think Nintendo has a lot to live up to, and they need to work very hard to make sure that they can maintain the Switch and the hype that they've produced with it, I do think that it is somewhat possible. They just have to be careful, just because they know that there is a market for it. Like, people will buy the games, like games they've already owned 3 times, if they know they can play it portable, because this is the first time that this exists.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think they can afford to be lazy anymore.
And to be honest, I think that's one of the things that I don't think they will be anymore, because I think they realize how poorly they did with the Wii U, and from what it seems like they're doing a lot of work to try to support the Switch for the long haul. And what's cool is the way that they developed the Switch is that instead of having to release a whole new console, theoretically they can just release another brain, another tablet.
Yeah.
Once the hardware catches up even further, and that can save some money in the long run. Theoretically. So I mean, maybe that is something that they're thinking about, like the longevity of the console, because I know that that's what they've been doing with the 3DS, and that's been a very smart thing for them, because the 3DS has been their moneymaker for a long time now.
I hope you're right. I mean, I don't want Nintendo to fail.
No,
like,
not
Nintendo
at all.
is like the cornerstone of my childhood. But like,
You're just being cautious.
They've spent the last, I don't know what, 10,
2006.
12 years
I would say
doing gimmicky shit.
Yeah, 10 years.
Like, now it's time, like, okay, you've got the motion control thing down. Now it's time to bring your software up to your hardware. Because everything I saw for the launch event was, with the exception of Breath of the Wild and
Odyssey,
was just more gimmicky shit.
Yeah, well, I will say some of it was very gimmicky shit. Like 1-2 Switch was not my cup of tea.
1-2 Switch, ARMS.
See, I'll
like,
play.
It looked like it was hookshot boxing.
See, I'll play devil's advocate to ARMS during the treehouse, because I was very skeptical about it. Whenever I saw it, I was like, that's stupid. But they did some hands-on demos with ARMS for the treehouse event, and it actually looks a lot cooler in actual gameplay practice than it did in the trailer.
Good, because it looked like turds.
It looked a little rough.
I actually like if you watch some of the gameplay on the treehouse event, it actually looks like it could be a smaller competitive game that people will get into outside of Splatoon.
Eric, you all right?
I am good. You guys have been talking it out, so I'm just letting y'all duke it out.
Eric's thinking about a world without Nintendo, and he's getting really depressed.
That's me.
Man, don't be all depresso.
So yeah, Alex, you reserved one, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and John, you did too.
By
Yep.
default.
What
By no
Alex,
choice of his own.
I know you're looking forward to Zelda the most.
Oh, dude, like, to be honest, like, as soon as they announced that Zelda was coming out day one, that's what sold me on getting a Switch, because I like Zelda games are something that I would love to jump into at any free amount of time. So I will actually be taking my Switch with me to work so I could play Zelda on my lunch breaks, and I'm super excited about that. Because I mean, to be honest, like Zelda's gonna come out day one on the Wii U, which I have the Wii U, but sorry.
No, you're good.
I think eventually I'll get one.
And
Yeah.
I want to get one. I think I'm waiting to see how it does once it releases. There's a lot of I have a lot of skepticism. I have a lot of skepticism for the Switch, just mainly because of all the failures of the past systems that they've released.
Yeah.
I mean, the Wii was like the world's best gimmick.
dude,
And
I mean,
then
it's,
Bowling Simulator 2005.
And
was-
then,
yeah,
and
no,
then the
it's-
Wii. Go ahead.
well, I was gonna say, I mean, as much as we call the Wii a failure, the Wii was a staple in every household.
Oh no, the
for a
Wii
long
fucking
time.
killed.
Oh, dude, they made Nintendo made their fucking living
It comes
for
standard in
like,
every trailer park across America.
dude, and then in the rich houses there was at least 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
like,
had one on day one.
I did too. I waited in the parking lot of the Walmart in Jennings for 10 hours.
Well,
I-
we were
I-
working at GameStop when it came out, so
I was waiting
we
at
had
Best
first
Buy
pick.
with my buddy Jody.
Coincidental.
Yeah, not the same Jody.
Obviously.
Looks like he could fit inside your Jody.
Oh, tiny.
Yeah, super
It's a small
tiny.
guy.
Yeah, so, yeah, because out Jennings, we only have Walmart. The closest GameStop is in Crowley. And
Yeah.
Walmart got 10 copies of the Wii. That's it. And so I was like 15 or 16 at the time, so my aunt stayed with me and my cousin all night to get one.
God, I was like 20.
Yeah, I was like 15 or 16. And so we stayed up all night, and I think I was like 5th in line, and my cousin was 6th in line. And so it was cold as fuck, too. I remember that.
Yep.
And fun fact, if you had found a Kmart, you wouldn't have had to wait in line because everybody forgets that Kmart sells systems.
Dude, Kmart.
Well, it's true. When they were all
Kmart
sold
still
out,
exists.
currently, but not for much longer.
Yeah, you're right. It's going the way of the Circuit City.
Like when all the Wiis were missing, not missing. When you couldn't find a Wii is what I meant to say.
Kmart had a ton of them.
everywhere. Kmart, you walked straight to the back, and Kmart was like, "Yeah, we have like 5. Nobody thinks to come here."
We have like 40 of them. It's weird.
Dude,
Yeah.
no lie, you'd be surprised what, because I told you about that. I think it was when Resident Evil 5 came out.
Oh, dude,
I was
such a good game.
I was living in Orlando at the time.
Oh yeah.
And GameStop was wrapped around the building. Like, you could not, like, there was no way
Yeah.
in hell. Like, they had at least 150 people waiting for Resident Evil 5. I literally, I saw the line, I was like, man, no, fuck that. On the way home, I stopped at a 7-Eleven to get something to drink. Walked into 7-Eleven, and sure enough, behind the counter were just copies of Resident Evil 5.
At a 7-Eleven?
At a 7-Eleven.
Yeah. Like people
I
don't
was
think
like-
about that. Walgreens gets copies.
I was like, is that for? So he was like, yeah.
Yeah.
We got 20 of them. You want one?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, I'll take a pack of cigarettes and a fucking
Yeah.
video game. Also, can I get a 6-pack of beer?
Slurpee as well. And,
I'm gonna go get some wine over in the wine aisle over there.
but yeah, there's like these little hidden gems that you never know. Like,
Yeah.
Those are always the best. Yeah, for the Wii, I remember I waited all night in line, and Walmart actually gave us like placeholder tickets, so if we had to leave, we can come back and we had our spot in line. Walmart only had 10. And so nobody came to jump in line, and like they gave them out at 7 a.m. And people didn't start hopping in line until like 4:35 a.m.
Wow.
And then there was like 100-something people waiting for one all of a sudden. And what was awesome is Walmart came and brought us donuts outside.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
like whenever they baked the donuts for their
There
bakery, they
were
came and brought us
actually
donuts.
there were yesterday's leftover donuts. Don't get
hey,
too
donuts
excited.
are donuts.
Dude, fuck yeah, they gave us free donuts. This
That's
is
so
Walmart.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody look at Eric. He looks upset.
No.
I'm sorry that I told you that the
Just
Wii is
keep
probably
fucking
about to
talking.
die. Like I'm sorry that I told you that Nintendo is on its way out.
Everybody stop talking on the podcast.
Does anyone have anything else they wanted to say?
I'm waiting for that Spiritual Warfare remake for the Switch.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna
Eric,
be great.
Let's talk, man.
No,
Tell me
it's-
what's going
Eric
on.
seems
Tell
really
me what's-
bummed. Like I feel
No,
like I just
tell me
punched
what's
him in
going
the
on with
face
Eric
with
right
my
now.
No,
idea.
we're all good.
We'll turn this into a psychology
Did anyone have anything
podcast.
else you wanted to talk about?
I want to talk about your feelings.
Well, I guess
I
that
will-
about wraps it up.
I will
for the
say this though,
podcast.
I'm kind of impressed that GameStop got a good bit of pre-orders. Like they were all allotted so many. Now another thing to stick it to Eric.
Don't. He can't handle it anymore. Look at him. He's fragile.
I have a couple friends who are store managers, and they're begging people to come pre-order it. I will put that out there. Like, I know that my former store was allotted 15. And at the end of the night, the store manager was posting on Facebook, like, we still have 5 left. You guys have 20 minutes. Like, come on, please, come pre-order this.
Yeah,
it's a $50 down payment.
Uh-huh.
I'll probably do it next week.
Yeah, so it's like,
It
it's
might
nothing.
not be around
It
next
might not
week
be
anymore.
around next week.
I will
Yeah.
hope for the best.
Yeah, because what happened, because similar story, because I went to Jan's GameStop and pre-ordered, and she got...
Don't name drop.
She got 33 allocations. She went through all of hers, and then apparently GameStop was looking at which stores were getting a lot of pre-orders, and they moved allocations around. So they actually they took allocations from some stores, like Broussard, for instance, and sent them to Jan's store.
Well, Broussard got 11 extra.
That's crazy. Like, I don't know why, because it's fucking Broussard. And, like, we never got pre-orders or
No
anything
offense,
like that.
Jamie.
Don't hate on my girl, Jamie.
Oh, dude, I worked at the Broussard store, but it's fact. Like, that's one of the slowest
Broussard
stores in the
is
district.
one of the slowest stores, yeah.
And so I know that from what I was understanding is that once they had a certain amount of time to get the pre-orders, and once they got no more pre-orders, after a certain time, they removed all the allocations, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it was just surprising. I think people are just tired, and they're scared.
Yeah.
They don't want a pre-order system, and it's going to go the way of the Wii U.
Yeah. I will say.
I think that's going to be a major issue in gaming in general. And I forget who I was talking to about this the other day, but like...
Jeff?
No, I was talking to Jared about this. About how I think people just aren't hyped about anything anymore.
No.
Like, because they've been burned so much about so many... And God damn it, fucking No Man's Sky again.
That's why people don't pre-order anymore.
Yeah, like...
And it didn't start with No Man's Sky.
I know, but I feel like every fucking podcast there's a No Man's Sky drop.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, my entire 5 years at GameStop was a struggle to get people to pre-order. And I'm sure it's not just me. I'm sure everyone who's worked for GameStop can attest to this.
Yep.
One bad game comes out that everyone is hyped for, and they all pre-order, and we push pre-orders hard, and then it comes out, and it's shit.
Well, pre-orders
And then people are
bullshit.
like, man, well, they're not. There's a very solid reason why pre-orders are a thing, and it's because it gives us an idea of how many we need to order, and then it gives the developer an idea of how many they need to put out.
Exactly. It gives the developer an idea of how many people are actually interested in the game.
No,
Right.
I get that. Like, I understand the altruistic reason for pre-ordering.
Is good.
But I also understand the greedy fuck corporate reason for people to pre-order.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, yeah, because they get their money
Yeah.
up front.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have to try as hard. And you're like, well, fuck you, we already got your
I mean, I
money.
do think that it's bullshit that people lose their jobs over the fact that they can't convince another human being to pre-order a game that may or may not be crap. But that's just the way the world works.
Yeah.
It's the way that the corporate world works.
Yeah,
I
to be honest, the
suppose.
only reason I even pre-order anything nowadays is for limited quantity purposes.
Right.
Like the Switch, that's a great example of it's going to be limited. It's probably going to go the route of the Wii. As soon as it comes out, it's going to be hard to find.
What's like all the... Like, and I know, I used to work at GameStop, you know, and I've given the line that, well, I mean, we can't guarantee you a copy date
Right,
of
and I
the
have
release,
too, and then they send
which is
1,000.
fucking bullshit. Like, a game's coming out. Why wouldn't you fucking have it?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you send it to the stores? Like, that's horseshit. And this isn't, like...
Yeah, it's not the game store's fault, obviously.
It's not the game store's fault. It's not the people in the game store's fault.
No,
It's the distributor.
It's fucking...
Yeah.
It's the corporate aspect of it, and I think that's what's bullshit about pre-orders.
Because I've
Remember
used
when
that line so many
shit-
times. They're not sending us any extra,
Yeah.
and they send us 50 extra, and they show up at midnight launch, and I'm like, fine, whatever, here's your stupid game.
Yeah, dude, that's actually something I hate, because then, like...
Then I look like a liar.
Yeah, exactly, then we look like liars, because that's happened a few times. Like, I remember we got very limited quantities of... Or we were supposed to get limited quantities of certain games, and then, surprise,
Yeah.
we got an extra 40.
Yeah, here's a whole extra box. Well, fuck.
It's almost like they're just like making you lie to people to
Yeah.
get their money.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, the only reason I pre-order anything nowadays is for, like, consoles that are limited run, or if they have, like, a special edition of it, or collector's edition games.
See, I'll do it.
Only time.
I'll go pre-order to help my friends out that still work, or like my former employees. I'll pre-order to help them out, you know, because
To hit their reserves.
I know what they're going through, and so if it's a game I really, really want, like no matter if it's a dog turd or not, I'll go pre-order it.
But it
with my
sucks that
friends.
that's a burden that's now on both of you.
No, it's true. It's
Yeah,
very
because
true.
that's fucking horseshit.
How do we get from the Switch to
I don't know, but
pre-orders?
fuck this shit.
I'm
It
sorry.
makes me
I think
mad.
that was my fault.
Okay,
Let's
let's.
let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up before Eric gets even angrier.
Eric, you've been pretty quiet this entire podcast.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about it. What's
No,
going on
that's
here?
it.
Okay, well, all right. So then to wrap it up, so there are, as of right now, they have a few day one games in America that they have announced. They have Just Dance,
Woo.
Breath of the Wild,
Woo.
Skylander, Imaginators,
Yay.
because we don't have enough of that.
Can't wait to not take those at the store.
Super Bomberman, which is actually very curious. I think it's a curious choice that they decide to bring Super Bomberman from the grave.
I loved the last Bomberman game. The one for 64.
I liked Bomberman too. I actually really enjoyed playing it. So I think it's a
Oh.
very curious decision that they decided to bring Bomberman from the grave. So that being said, those are the only 5 games announced to be day one releases at this moment in America.
You know what that is? They were in danger of having to have a fucking original
Oh.
idea, so they're like, "Oh,
And-
what can we dig up?"
And 1-2
Bomberman.
Switch. 1-2 Switch.
I am looking forward to Lego City Undercover. I didn't get to play it on the Wii U.
That's the one that's like Grand Theft Auto Legos.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
But I
yeah,
saw
yeah.
it at conference one year, and I was like, no, I saw it at E3, the year that the Wii U was officially announced.
That's right.
And I was
yeah,
like,
I
oh,
remember
man, that
being
looks
really
good.
upset that I couldn't play because I didn't have a Wii U.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. Like we laughed really hard at that conference.
What?
Stardew Valley's coming to the Switch.
What?
See that I would okay.
I was about to say,
I
knowing
have
you,
it for PS4. Now they're supposed to be releasing it for the Vita.
Ooh, Untitled Pokemon game.
that's supposed
that
to
is
be
on the
that's supposed to be
list.
Pokemon
Oh, is it?
Stars.
I'm excited. I don't play Pokemon, but I know that'll be great.
I tell you what, you let me know if Salt and Sanctuary makes it to the Switch,
And then we'll talk?
And then we'll talk.
All right.
Because I feel like that was like born to be a mobile game.
Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight's coming out.
I
Yep.
can't fucking play another version of Shovel Knight.
I love that game though.
I love Shovel Knight. Don't get me wrong. I have it
new
on my
Skylanders.
PS4 and I have it on my Vita.
Yeah. Yeah, they have. Actually, so I saw a little bit of gameplay footage of Snipper Clips, and it's actually a really interesting game. It's inherently a multiplayer game. You have 2 people playing, and you play as like this little like weird shaped like piece of paper, and you basically have it's a puzzle game for the most part, and they'll have like these things you have to complete an objective, and you can cut pieces of each other off to make specific shapes you need to like complete the task.
Sounds dark.
Right.
It's very very kitty looking, but it's actually it looked really cool.
Eric, what do you want to talk about?
I have nothing to talk about. We've already talked about everything.
How
Yeah.
are you feeling?
I'm fine.
All right, so I guess to wrap it up. All right, so me and John pre-ordered it. Eric, do you plan on pre-ordering it?
I plan if they're still available next Friday. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Kelly, you don't have to.
No, well,
We do
the
kind of share of a house.
yeah, but your pre-order isn't necessarily for us.
We'll
But yeah,
end up with
we'll
one.
end up with one eventually.
Yeah. Okay, so John, bear with me.
Go ahead.
Since you just pretend like you're actually getting a Switch, like for 100% sure you're gonna get it, and you're gonna enjoy every second of it. Just pretend that for a second.
Okay.
What
I'm with you.
game that you saw are you excited about?
I'm
Or it can be
ex-
games.
I mean, for all of my ranting and the diatribe that I went on earlier, I am legitimately excited for Breath of the Wild. I think it's gonna be cool. I don't think it's gonna be innovative, but I think it's gonna be cool. I'm also excited about the Shin Megami game. I'm a huge fan of the Persona series. I think Devil Survivor is the one that's been on Nintendo systems,
Yeah.
right? I haven't played one of the Devil Survivor games, but I think this might be the first one I pick up. But it's gonna be rough because we've got that and Persona 5 coming out this year, and Persona 5 looks fucking amazing. So it's got to be pretty impressive to
And they also announced
To
the new
outdo.
Monster Hunter game too.
see. And I enjoyed Monster Hunter, so I think that would be a lot of fun.
So yeah, I mean, obviously, I think we're on not necessarily on edge, but we're cautious.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yes, I will definitely say that after seeing the press release, I became more excited about the Switch. I'm being cautious about it right now, just because I know that there is room for disappointment.
I had the opposite feeling that you had. I was very excited for the Switch until I saw the Japanese press conference when we watched it. and I feel like
It actually set
it
me
kind
back a
of
little bit.
it set me back a
yeah.
little bit, and I was like, that's when I decided. I was like, oh wow, I think this may be Nintendo's like downfall.
I'm reserving,
It was very Japanese.
Yeah.
I'm reserving all judgment until I play one.
Until you get your hands on
Agreed.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say most excited for Mario Odyssey. Yes, I'm very
Yeah.
excited for Breath of the Wild, but I've already seen so much of Breath of the Wild that I know what to expect now. I have no idea what to expect for Mario Odyssey.
And that
I think
kinda-
it's going to be...
That kind of hits on something else. Like I go out of my way to avoid trailers
Me too.
because specifically for what you just said. Like
Like
I-
I've seen enough.
yeah, like I
Moment.
couldn't
I've seen the whole
imagine
game.
like going into a game and being like, "Oh yeah, I already saw this. I already saw this. I already saw this." Like none of this is fucking exciting to me anymore. Like I see enough to go, I'm in.
Yep.
And then I avoid that shit like the plague.
And see, you and I are the same. That's one of the things I try to do with the Switch. One of the things I try to do with Breath of the Wild. I've intentionally avoided all information about Breath of the Wild as much as possible because I don't want to get my hype train fucking chugging along.
That's honestly why I haven't played the Resident Evil 7 demo yet. Like, there have been many times where I've sat down and go, man, I want to fucking play this.
Don't do it.
But I know that, you know, it's coming up soon, and I don't want to, like...
End of the
I
month?
want to go into it, like, completely
Yeah.
green.
Mm-hmm.
But, anyway, Kelly's giving me the wrap-up.
Yeah, we did good. We're like right at an hour.
Sweet.
So
Borfy! There's a Borf outside! Oh my god! Borf! 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 Borf!
It's a big fluffy floof.
Patrick
Sorry.
just got a new dog.
I saw that.
All right, guys, so
Anyway.
thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning into this Silent Eric podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And for my
everybody-
first podcast.
Yeah.
Everybody comment and tell Kelly that she did a good job and tell Eric to lighten the fuck up. And let us know if you're excited about the Switch or any of the games that you've already probably owned on 9 other consoles.
Yeah, give us your opinion too. Don't let my opinion sway you. Tell us what you think. Is it going to make or break Nintendo?
Find out next time. Dragon Ball Z.
Or don't! Whatever! Oh, I'm sorry, did I step on your-
Later, guys.
Bye.